Have a blessed day, girls. Starting the class with a promise given by our Lord. He who watches over you will not slumber. Psalm 121:3. So the Lord wants to say that He watches over us 24/7 and He never sleeps nor slumbers. Even while traveling for a very long distance, a driver may fall asleep on the steering wheel, or even a mother may fall asleep by the side of the sick child. But God is never exhausted and never weary. He never closes his eyes. So you can be sure that God is watching over us all the time and He will protect us from all the dangers. We started with chapter 2 and we saw the basic concepts of national income, the meaning of national income, and the methods of measuring national income. To recall or to recap, the methods of measuring national income can be done by three ways. 1. Production or value added method. 2. Income method or factor earning method. 3 is expenditure method. So these are the ways in which national income can be measured. So in a common man's language, national income means the total money value of all final goods and services produced in a country during a particular period of time. Alfred Marshall has also given his definition for national income. Are you able to recall? Can you say it along with me? The labor and capital of a country acting on its natural resources produce annually a certain net aggregate of commodities, material and immaterial, including services of all kinds. This is the true net annual income or revenue of the country or national dividend. This definition was given by Alfred Marshall. Then we saw GDP and its deflator, GDP deflator. Who created GDP deflator? Very good. Simon Kuznets in the year 1932. Can you list out the basic concepts of national income? You can join along with me. 1. Gross domestic product. 2. Gross national product. 3. Net national product. 4. Net national product at factor cost. 5. Personal income. 6. Disposable income. 7. Per capita income. 8. Real income. 9. GDP deflator. So these are the basic concepts of national income. What are the methods of measuring national income? Say to yourself. Are you able to recall the three methods? Product method, income method, and expenditure method. Today, let us see the importance of national income analysis. The importance of national income analysis. You can turn to page number 27, 2.6. The importance of national income analysis. This is the answer for question number 35. This is a 5-mark question and it's a very important question quite often asked. So please listen carefully. Importance of national income analysis. Why should we study about national income? And what are the uses of studying or importance of studying national income? So the first point is to know the relative importance of the various sectors of the economy and the contribution towards national income. So the first point, To know the relative importance of the various sectors of the economy and their contribution towards national income. We have three major sectors in our economy: the agricultural sector, the industrial sector, and the service sector. So we need to know how much each sector is contributing towards the national income. So that is the first point. So from the calculation of national income, we could find how income is produced, how it is distributed, how much is spent, saved, or taxed. The second point, to formulate the national policies such as monetary policy, fiscal policy, and other policies. So depending on the national income, policies can be formulated. What are the major policies? Monetary policy. Monetary policy is related to the expenditure and revenue of the government, monetary, to do with the money. Fiscal policy is concerned with the revenue and expenditure of the government. I repeat, monetary policy is about the money supply. Fiscal policy is about the expenditure and revenue of the government. So to formulate these policies, we need to know the national income. To formulate the national policies such as monetary policy, fiscal policy, and other policies, the proper measures can be adopted to bring the economy to the right path with the help of collecting national income data. Third one, to formulate planning and evaluate plan progress. It is essential that the data pertaining to a country's gross income, output, saving, and consumption from different sources should be available for economic planning. Hence, to plan and to evaluate. What do you mean by evaluate? Evaluation is a process to critically examine a program, its characteristics, what are the outcomes, what is its purpose, and to improve the effectiveness and to make a decision, we have to evaluate. What do you mean by we have evaluation in our school? After every term, we have a midterm test to evaluate how far you have understood the subject, how far you have progressed. So, hence, in a country, depending on the national income, the authorities, the planning authorities, they have to formulate plan and they have to evaluate the plan progress, whether we are going in the right direction or we have to change the plan. For that, we need to know the national income. So to formulate planning and evaluate plan progress, we need to know about the national income. Next one, to build economic models both in the short run and long run. What do you mean by short run? During a short period. Long period, when the period is very long, more than 5 years, we call it as long run. So to build economic models, already we have seen economic models. What are economic models? Simplified version of the reality. That is only called as a model. So to build economic models both in the short period as well as long period, national income is important. Next one, to make international comparison, inter-regional comparison. What do you mean by international comparison? To compare our country with America, to compare the national income of Germany, France, and India, to compare ourselves with other countries, to see whether we are developing or we are developed country or we are advancing. To know all that, we need to know about the national income. Apart from that, inter-regional, within a country, whether Tamil Nadu is growing, West Bengal, what about Orissa, Bihar? How are we when compared to Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka? So for inter-regional comparison, we need to study about the national income. Next one, to know a country's per capita income. Per capita income only decides the welfare of the people of a country. So to compare the per capita per capita income of India with some other country, we need to know about national income. How do we calculate per capita income? Per capita income is equal to national income divided by the population. So to know the country's per capita income. Last one, to know the distribution of income of various factors of production in our country. What are the various factors of production? Land, labor, capital, and organization. How are the income distributed? Who gets the major share of the income? whether it's the land or the labor or the capital or the organization. So, to know the distribution of income for various factors of production in the country, we need to know about the national income. To sum up, what are the importance of national income analysis? One, to know the relative importance of various sectors of the economy and their contribution towards national income. Two, to formulate the national policies such as monetary policy, fiscal policy, and other policies. 3. To formulate planning and evaluate plan progress. 4. To build economic models both in short run and long run. 5. To make international comparison, interregional comparison. 6. To know a country's per capita income. 7. To know the distribution of income for various sectors of production in the country. Okay, this is not known. To know the distribution of income for various factors of production in the country. I'm sure you would have understood this, girls, the importance of national income. This is very, very important. Please learn it today itself. Okay, don't postpone your work.